Hey everybody, it's Off the Highway. I'm Tony Kriz, and today I'm with Noel Castellanos. Noel is the CEO of Christian Community Development Association, CCDA, ccda.com, right?
.org.
.org, ccda.org. And he's also the author of a great new book, Where the Cross Meets the Streets. Noel, my question for you is, if we could take this video and we could project it on the wall of every church at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, every church in America, and you had 3 minutes to share something, what would you share with the churches of America?
Yeah, I would say that I would love to remind my brothers and sisters around the country that the story of God's entering the world is a story that is really rooted in a very, very unlikely kind of focus, and that is that God enters the world to really make sure that those that are marginalized and left behind by society, not given much attention or priority by anybody, and sometimes not even the church, that's a group of people that God absolutely loves. And so when we talk about mission, when we talk about the priorities of what we ought to be doing in the world, that if we really give an honest reading to the Bible, that the poor need to be somewhere at the center of that conversation. Yeah. I love the Epistle of James, where he poses the question, what's true and undefiled religion? To love the widows, the orphans, and the strangers, and to not be tainted by the world. And I think that I even love that last part because it's, we're not trying to be pure and holy so that we can set up a whole new super spiritual class of people, but we're trying to be freed up from the worries of this world and the problems of this world so that we might really engage with those that are barely hanging on. Tony, you know that we live in a global society today where 7 billion people live on this planet, and about half of those folks are really struggling to just barely get by. Somebody wrote a book called The Bottom Billion that I have read recently, and says that, think about the ministry of somebody like Mother Teresa, right, who just was present with the destitute and the dying. The idea that they would ever be pulled out of poverty, it was probably not a reality. But she provided dignity for people, for that bottom billion, by being with the poor and just letting them know that God has not forgotten them. And then there's that kind of 1% that, so many in America are kind of becoming more critical of, that are living in so much opulence and so much wealth, often in the shadows of great poverty, and even in a place like America. I know that many of those 1% are even believers. I live in the hood in Chicago. I've been there for 25 years in a great Mexican neighborhood. And when I can compare myself to many of my brothers and sisters in Latin America, in Africa, in different places around the world, I'm rich, right? Yeah. And so another part of the message that I would like to make sure that folks really grasp is that the poor are not the end of mission for the church. The poor are actually co-conspirators with God to extend the love and mission to others that are even just as needy. And actually, one of the most powerful things that I've seen is when those that are considered to be poor in our society's eyes actually minister greatly to those who are materially rich, giving them a whole new perspective of what it means to know and love God. So I think that when we discover that God cares for the margins, and then we put ourselves there, not to be a savior, not to come and bring, some great, change, but just to be there first, that we will become changed in a way that will radically transform our own spiritual lives.
So great. I wish I could project that on the walls of every church on Sunday morning. Thank you, Noel. His new book, Where the Cross Meets the Streets. Check it out. Thank you, sir.
All right, Tony. Thanks.